Good afternoon.
Hello. Oh, let's wait a few minutes for maybe other students.
Mm, Yes, I think we should. While we're waiting, may I ask you some questions about homework?
Yeah, sure.
Um, could you please give me the right to demonstrate my screen? I guess it will be more convenient.
Mm, wow.
Don't know.
I don't know how to do this. Okay, maybe I should stop sharing my screen here, and then you can start.
Yes, I can indeed. You can see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First question was about some formal stuff, like what Google form. Uh,
So I sent the link by email. Is it working now?
Yes, it's working.
ah, okay. Maybe I missed it. Okay, and one more. This article.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will upload it to the our Google folder.
Yes. And well, first task seems like doable. Well, I hope so. And the problem two, I looked up. In the lecture and in the problem set 3, well, exercise session 3, but we haven't really, well, we just saw the case when at least, how to say, at least some capital M's, they were similar, like within platform or within categories of agents, like sellers and buyers.
Yeah, now you will have 4 equations to work with.
Okay. And do
So if
I?
you want to find the optimal
Mhm.
prices, yes. I mean, for prices, it will be 4 equations. For number, I guess 4 as well.
Oh my god. Okay. And
It's
we,
just math.
yeah, I know, but just some pages of math. Yes, okay. And about this comment, so we are allowed to use, for example, Wolfram for our solutions.
Yeah, so for that, so I think some graphs will be a fine illustration for how they behave.
It's like only for graphs or for those calculations as well, just not completely
So I
clear.
don't remember specifically. Yeah, you can take the first order derivatives for sure and receive the 4 equations, all right? So, but then maybe it will be complicated to plug each other.
Mm.
So yeah, and solve. Uh, well,
So
yeah, you so take first order derivatives, then you receive these equations, then you can solve it by Wolfram.
okay, so just we shall use it like when we can, right?
Yeah, then you cannot solve it by hand.
Yes, okay. Okay. Yes, and about third problem, well, just a little bit frightened by this phrase.
Hmm?
But well, maybe still like what lecture or what exercise session to look for. Well, maybe not for the particular example, but just to
Okay, let me check. So that's about third one.
Yes, because you mentioned that we didn't cover during lectures or yes, and it's like horrible.
Yeah, no, it's just you to think about it. So that's so then you have just what you have participation. So it's like a number of participants, right? Of group K.
Yes.
So it's like a network effect, and then whatever. Well, what is here B? So price
Maximization problem and optimal price structure.
so, but you should do the same, so right? The maximization problem that takes first to the derivatives, and then yeah, it's just general about the course. Like I don't know which exact lecture you would like to see. For sure, not the first one because we have
Yeah.
one-sided platform.
Yeah. Okay. So it's more like across the largest part of the course. Okay, got it.
Yes. What you need is just general intuition what's going on. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that will be it for my questions. Thanks for answering.
Okay, then let's start. And maybe before, again, need to share my screen. So, this week we will have the presentation about Sergei, probably on Thursday. So I asked to put it Thursday 12:00, and then remove our access sessions from Friday to Thursday as well. So at 12 we will have presentation and then access sessions in 1 hour at 1. So I think it will work for you.
So we'll have two exercise sessions, but not on Friday, but at the same time on Thursday, right?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
presentation about Sergei 1 hour before.
Yeah, okay.
So today, okay, let me start recording. Yeah, today we will continue talking about the news aggregator. So that's our last main topic. And yeah, you remember that we have two media agencies, and then in the model they were located in point 0 and 1. So and each agency provide news for topics from interval 0, 1 as well. So but that's different interval, so that you remember that we have firstly kind of space for consumers, for readers. Then you can be a person from interval from 0 to 1. That's how you like agencies as well. So for example, you don't like Metro newspaper, but you like something else, Комсомольская правда. Just the title, how it looks like, but then you have different utility from the quality, so that each agency chooses the high quality of reports from the interval from 0, 1. And this space is space about the topics, and they can be low quality or high quality. Yes, and then we are thinking that we need to measure the quality. So because quality is choice of high quality topics is just choice for for each topic to produce good news or not so good quality news. So then we need to measure how the consumers value these high quality reports in newspaper.
Is it
So then,
yeah, sorry. Is it the continuation of the last lecture, or it's another topic?
no, yeah, it's a continuation of the lecture we did during the exercise session.
Okay.
Yeah, so that so that's the same model, so that you have quality, and I'm just repeating it. It's the same slide. So then we can measure them and provide quality. Yeah, so that's measure quality with mu. So that's normally we take just the part of the news which are provided with high quality. They are kind of, so if you take the ratio of good quality, that will be the measure. But for the agencies, it's costly to produce the quality news. That's obvious. Yeah, according to, you have to pay attention to the topic. You have to ask some questions. You have to read some reports, maybe official information, something else. Yeah, so like we talked about the measure a bit, so that it have to have some properties. Yeah, that you should measure any possible choice of the quality. Yes, so because yes, so that agency can pick everything from 0 to 1. So and they need to present such a measure, and they will normalize it by 1 if agency choose to produce the high quality news for all topics. Then our quality will be equal to 1. Oh. Then we have so then two choice of agency strategies. So firstly, they need to pick the number of topics which will be with high quality, so that they'll give you some level of quality, and then agency can pick exact topics from which you will construct your level of quality. So then let maybe here. Is it understandable, or would like to have a picture? Have any questions?
I guess you could just show the picture from the last time. It was.
Oh, I don't have it. I can draw another one.
So
let me
we just have two axes of tastes, right?
Let's
vertical and horizontal.
Yeah, that's about consumers, but about agencies. So I can pick the level of quality, but then I can construct that level of quality choosing different topics, so that I'm choosing not only my level of quality, but I'm choosing exact topics from which I construct this level of topics, level of quality. So, for example, I have 3 topics, and I want to make 2 of them of good quality. So I have how much? 1, 2, 3, 3 combinations, right? Yes, because for consumer, they assume that consumer cares mostly, so cares about the total quality, but then agency can pick different topics to. Okay, let's finish this slide and then I will show you how it works. Yeah, then that's about the differentiation. So that's the different agencies can pick different topics to produce by high quality, but then they can coincide so that then we will have minimal differentiation because yes, kind of one agency produced the same topics of high quality as another, and if they completely different, then we have maximal differentiation. So that means that agencies produce high quality topics, different high quality topics at all. So then let me briefly show you the picture. So then so we have firstly they have our yes interval of preferences, so that some agencies which are distributed uniformly, they like agency 1 and agency 2. Well, and then each agency can pick the topic space from 0 to 1. Sorry. Well, let's think about the first agency. So that if first agency pick something like that, so from 0, let's say, to how it looks like for 0.4. So if this is the topics of good quality from agency 1, then we can say that mu of I1 is 0.4, right? But then I can say, okay, let's pick from 0 to 0.2, and then I choose the good quality from 0.6 to 0.8 as well. So, and this is now my I1 prime. So if I take the measure of I1 prime, I will receive still 0.4. Yeah, do you see how it works? So I can choose different topics, but still have the same level of quality. Okay?
And if you wanted to make it like high quality, you should have taken like large errors, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But then we are talking about the second agency. So that if we have the first agency, and that's, let's say it did from 0 to 4, from 0 to 0.4. So that's first agency. So then we can consider the second agency. And second agency doing the same choice. So they can pick, for example, here and here. right? And they can see, since this is the same interval from 0 to 1 of topics here and here, so that for both agencies they have the same space of topics. And now they can see that there is an area of intersection, so that both agencies produce the high quality topic on these topics as well simultaneously. So then I will remind you what is minimal differentiation and maximal. So the minimal differentiation is that if we take first and second, let's say I have this one for first and that for second. So that this is I2, this is I1. So you can see that all the topics of high quality from the first agency as well produced by the second. So that's minimal differentiation. So that because there is no sense to read the first, right, in terms of quality. Yeah, so by now we forgot about that each agent has preferences according to agencies, so because of the distance to them. But now they can see that, yeah, so that whatever topics is high quality on first agency, it is as well of high quality in the second. So then they can consider the other case, so that let's pick the same I1, but now let's say that I2 is like that. So then there is no intersection, so that kind of like that. So, and that means that the agencies produce absolutely different topics of high quality, and that's maximal differentiation, so that they differ as much as possible. Questions here?
So again, it's different as much as possible because their topics don't intersect.
Yes.
And can we say that, well, do we care like how far are the
No.
lower border and higher border in this case? No, we don't care. Like, what is the gap between the?
Yes, so you don't have kind of what is a so okay, let's say it like that. So if you take the interval from 0 to 1 of topics, you don't distinguish the topic this one and that one. So that this area is more important than that or whatever. So what does matter is that there is no intersection. Yeah, because then you measure it as a mu. Yeah, maybe you can find some papers with advanced models. Then you have kind of low-ranked topics and then high-ranked topics, or it can be interesting research anyway if it's not done yet. So that you can say that, okay, so they have different topics and they are different, so they can be kind of less interesting or less popular, and then maybe more popular. And then some magazines focus on the most popular topics and some of them just on the rest. That could be. But here in the
Okay,
model, it's kind of a simple setup
okay.
in
So
that sense.
we just care about the interception and like the length of it, right? Okay.
Yes. So not really length, but yeah, because you can take several, or you can take just points. Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, they have no length. It's true.
There was interesting question from math. So what is the measure of any integer or whatever on the interval? So if you take any integer number and then measure them on the interval. Okay. Well, I think that's by now from the slides. So let's move back. Now you can see me. Okay, not working. Okay, slides are stuck. Okay, now you can see it. So they are here, so that there can be kind of minimal differentiation and maximal differentiation. So what else? Then we need to think about the consumer's choice, right? So now we talked about, before we talked about that what agencies can do and what will be the news aggregator resulted quality. We talked a bit about that during our exercise. Yeah, you remember that that's the all topics of good quality. And yeah, I will probably switch back to the whiteboard later and repeat it once again. So then let's now consider the consumers, so that I already wrote that they have their own initial choice taste between agencies, that we have this X uniformly distributed from 0 to 1. So if you're close to 0, then you will prefer more the first agency. If you're close to 1, you will prefer more another agency. So let's say, yeah, to 0 it's newspaper Metro, and then 1 it's Komsomolskaya Pravda. Yes, and they can think that, okay, they can be single homes, which means that they choose either to read Metro or Komsomolskaya Pravda, so that no one is going and buying both. On that, okay, take a Metro near the metro station and then going and buying Komsomolskaya Pravda in kiosk, something like that. When we will assume that they have some structure of spending time during the reading newspapers, and then going a bit ahead so that they will kind of spend 1 unit of time on aggregator. So if we are talking about that aggregator is presented and you can go through aggregator to agency. But yeah, so just if you go to aggregator, you spend your time on choosing the topic, because you remember what aggregator do. It collects only the titles and then short description. So you cannot read the article there, right? So then you need to click and go to the website to read the article. So then your time which you will spend on the article depends on the quality, but you will spend this time reading it at news agency, right? So then 1 plus delta Q is the time you spend on chosen chosen agency. That means that one aggregator, and then delta Q is what is depends on the quality of the agents. So that's spending time. We need this to somehow construct the profit of agencies and aggregator. So that's what can be accumulated into the advertisers' views or clicks, so that if you can measure the time, then you can measure how much you observe advertisers' suggestions or click on them, banners or something like that. And then the timing of the game is the following. Firstly, agencies chooses the quality. So you remember from these intervals from 0 to 1, so they choose how much to produce with good quality. So then if aggregator is presented, then we remember that quality of aggregator is already defined, so that aggregator picks the high quality topics from agencies, and then for the rest topics which are not presented with good quality on both agencies, aggregator just provide not good quality. And then consumers choosing which agency or aggregator to join. Yeah, so that's how it goes, and then they can see that then aggregator comes to the market, then it affects two things, right? So that it affects that the consumers can choose not only between agency 1 and 2, they can go to aggregator firstly and spend time there. So that's kind of you will split the two groups of consumers which were before sitting on the two agencies. Now they are choosing between aggregator and agency 1 and 2, so that we will have 3 groups of consumers. And the next is that knowing that aggregator exists, the agencies can adjust their high quality topics, so that we remember that once again that quality of aggregator depends on the quality choice of both agencies. So they can somehow something do to choose the quality such that it will be profitable to aggregator to come to the market, or maybe not profitable, so that they can affect the market structure as well. And we will discuss it a bit later. Right. Now let's focus on aggregator. Yes, since we already talked about agencies and consumers. So that aggregator, as I said, offer each news from 0 to 1, but the best which are available. Right. So that if they have good quality on agency 1 and 2, so we aggregator provide the high quality news on union of these intervals, and we can see that resulted quality of the aggregator will be mu, so our measure of union of these two sets. And what happens if the agency have the same quality on some topic? Then aggregator will pick with probability 1/2 news from one aggregator and 1/2 from another. So let's here go back to our whiteboard. Or you have some questions before?
I guess we've discussed it previous time as well. So
Yes, just to remind you, I will briefly write it down. So, okay, you can see me once again. Okay, it works. Good. So now we have not only two agencies on the interval 0, 1. So that first pick something of good quality, and then second pick, let's say this interval. So then we'll have so then aggregator will pick the good quality news from the first agency from that interval. So then from the second it will be this interval. Yes, and for the rest we will take with probability 1/2 from here. So that will be the good quality as well, and with probability 1/2 for the rest. And what is the result? So the measure of the quality of aggregator is measure of the union of E1 and E2. Okay. So is it clear for everyone? Nice. That's important part, because we will discuss it during our Excel session, last one, and then that's most probably will be on the final. So yeah, let's go back to our slides. Okay, then so then let's think somehow about the consumer's choice. So well, the consumer's choosing between agency 1, 2, and aggregator, and we can think that they somehow multi-homes if they choosing the aggregator. Yeah, we already discussed this topic a bit. Why multi-homes? Because going to aggregator, you get access to both agencies. So that's, I think, intuitive that you can think about this as a multi-homes.
excuse me.
But what is, yes?
And just to make sure, they don't have any kind of option not to go to any agency.
Yes, exactly. So we talked that
Yeah, okay.
they choose in between first and the second. Yeah, so that's you have to understand which limitations they assume. That's for sure, because yeah, the more complicated model is, the harder it's to solve. So then you would like to assume. And yeah, so what is the trade-off between choosing the agency or aggregator? Because given the quality are presented, so that the agency already choose the quality, then for each agent you can say that, okay, this agent will prefer first agency or the second. So would I read Metro or Komsomolskaya Pravda? I already know by yeah, I have my utility, I have my preferences across Metro and Komsomolskaya Pravda, and given quality is chosen, I already know which newspaper I will pick. But now aggregator is presented, and then, for example, before I was like, okay, I will use Metro because they have nice anecdotes in the end or whatever. And it's free, so I don't care about a lot of advertisers there. Yeah, that's my choice. The quality of the news may be not that high, and then I receive aggregator, so that can you imagine some aggregator for Metro and Komsomolskaya Pravda?
Isn't Yandex Zen an aggregator for any kind of news?
Yes, but that's online, right? I'm thinking more about the offline papers. No, but yeah, it's example of aggregator, right, for sure. But okay, it doesn't matter. So that's let's say I can go to some kiosk there. Exactly one person can give me for free Metro newspaper, or I can buy Komsomolskaya Pravda there then as well. But I need to go there, and I have the choice. So then the trade-off behind is that just picking up the Metro newspaper near metro station, I don't have the choice to read. I don't have the possibility to read the high-quality news from Komsomolskaya Pravda. But if I'm going to this kiosk, I can take Metro and then buy Komsomolskaya Pravda in case I see some interesting topic are presented there. So that's my trade-off behind my choice. Do you see? I think it's
Yes,
easier.
but I guess it's just easier with website news. It's just whether you visit the website or you go directly to Yandex Zen.
Yeah, maybe, but it's kind of opposite. So directly you visit the website, and then otherwise you go to Yandex.Zen, and then you need to go to the website later if you see some interesting titles and description.
Yeah.
Okay, so then if we focus on consumer's choice between two agencies, we can think about that they will be in different agent in our standard model, right? You remember that from the model of two markets on two sides of the city, we have a different agent in between. So then we can divide agents between two markets. But in that case, we are not talking about the two sides of the market, right? We are talking only about kind of consumers. So that before you will have buyers and sellers, so that you need to divide between two market buyers and sellers. But here we have only readers. So in case of two agencies and no aggregator, you will just have the same model, so that you have preferences across the agencies. They produce some quality, so and you will divide your agencies, your agents between two agencies, just from there will be placed the indifferent one. So that's kind of the previous model, but even a bit easier. But then if we are thinking about the aggregator, so what would you assume how the agents will be divided between agencies and aggregator? What would be your guess?
Isn't it going to be like 3-dimensional?
Generally, kind of like that, yeah. But the simplest outcome,
The same thing. If
so
it's
before,
the simplest.
huh?
Well, if, for example, their topics don't intersect, in this case, aggregator won't really change anything. Or if the topics of the first agency fully covers the topics of the second one. Like there could be cases when aggregator doesn't do anything. Like it exists, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But which part of the consumers you would think will join the aggregator, and the agencies, if in general case, if agencies produce different, or we can say enough different topics of high quality?
Those who are in the middle.
Yeah, so we can guess that, okay, those who are in the middle, if we don't assume some maybe complicated preferences or the choice of topics or something like that, so that we know that probably some part of the consumers who are close to 0, they prefer agency 1, and they really prefer that agency. So those who are closer to 1, they prefer agency 2. So that probably those who are in between, they kind of indifferent between agencies, and that part of the agents then can benefit if you will provide them higher quality from aggregator, because they are not so care about the choice of which exactly agency to read. So that if you will just increase them quality in aggregator by adding some additional quality news, so that they can choose aggregator instead of choosing the agency to read. So firstly, we can think about these two in different guys, because yeah, so that's if we assume that this area somewhere in between. So firstly, we will have a different agent between agency 1 and aggregator, and then we will have a different agent between aggregator and agency 2. Well, let's think that agencies already decide about their profit maximization quality, so that they choose somehow quality. We will solve it in backward induction as usual, so that first we will think about consumer choice, then about the aggregator presenting, and then the choice of I, of quality of the agencies. But now let's assume that they are already chosen, and that there is no aggregator initially, so that they have only 2 groups. So here they can think about the one indifferent guy, as you remember, so that those indifferent guy divided agents between 2 agencies, so that those who are Below indifferent guy, so these agents join agency 1. So those who are above, they join agency 2. So then when we add in aggregator, so then now we have two indifferent. So those who are from 0 and to x hat 1, so they choose the agency 1. So then those who are in between two indifferent agents, these joins aggregator. And those who are above the second indifferent, they join the agency 2. Then a bit maybe not really tricky question, but what do you think about that you have before you have x hat, just one indifferent tangent? What you can say about relationship of x hat and x1 hat and x2 hat? Can you say something about them?
What should we say about like this?
So we have before they have one indifferent agent somewhere, yeah, in between 0 and 1, and then we have two of them. Those who are this one who is indifferent between agency 1 and aggregator, and who indifferent between aggregator and agency 2. Can they say something about where they placed on interval 0, 1?
I think x hat should be between the other two, unless they are equal and only one guy joins the aggregator. The aggregator.
Yeah, thank you. So that's correct. So that let's move to the next slide. It's a picture. So if before we were divided between agency 1, this on the top of the picture, so that you have alpha 1 star and alpha 2 star. So that probably the indifferent agent is here in between, so that we divided between two groups. And then we are moving to the case with aggregator. Now we have two indifferent guys between aggregator and agency 1 here. And they can see that this one is lower than the indifferent agent in first case. And then we have indifferent guy between aggregator and agency 2. And that's higher than the previous indifferent agent. So and they can see those who are joining to agency 1, it's alpha 1. So then have alpha aggregator. So that's those who go into aggregator, and alpha 2 is to agency 2. So then let's consider the agency 1. So that agency 1 before they enjoy the readers of share alpha 1 star, this one. But then aggregator came, they enjoy only alpha 1, and you can see that alpha 1 is lower than alpha 1 star. So then we have this effect of business stealing, right? Because these agents, they go to aggregator instead of going to our agency. And that means that aggregator enjoy now the time these consumers spend on aggregator. But then we can think that all of these consumers from interval alpha aggregator, so they can observe our high quality news from our agency. So firstly, they have the bad effect, so the negative effect that business stealing that aggregator takes some consumers from our agency. But then we have readership expansion as a positive effect. That means that more or larger number of the readers will observe our news, and maybe they will go and read the high quality news from our agency.
But it is under an assumption that aggregator like includes both news from first agency and second agency, and like with the probability 1/2. No.
Yes.
Like,
No. That's with probability 1/2 if you have the same quality for the topic, right?
just it's obvious why aggregator well steals clients from the first platform, but not really obvious why it provides readership expansion. So it might be so that he like just steals and nobody else really watches the content of the first platform through the aggregator. No.
Yes, it could be, because so I mean this effect can be zero, right? Because if you provide not really zero, but like zero, it's only in case if you produce only low quality news, and then the second agency produce high quality news for entire topics, right? So that all interval
Yes.
is, so then like you have agency 2 who provides high quality news on all interval, so that's there is no sense to exist for first agency firstly, and then aggregators enter is quite low probability of aggregator enter, because it's the same as agency 2, right?
So basically, this result um, doesn't care about the uh, diversification of news, right? What we discussed earlier.
No, it's important, because then it will affect exact effect of business stealing and readership expansion.
Okay.
Because now we assume that this already chosen, right? So then we can think about the business stealing effect and readership expansion, because I1 and I2 is already chosen, aggregator is present, and that's happened. And they assume they are kind of general. We don't talk about which case exactly. And later on, we will talk about that, yes, so that it can be that you pick topics of high quality such that readership expansion is low, business stealing is high, or vice versa, or which effect prevails.
Okay.
So then, and that's next step question, because you remember that agencies they can choose the high quality topic, and this affects the decision of aggregator to enter the market or not. Because if you have high differentiation, that's good for aggregator to enter, because then aggregator can provide high quality topics almost twice higher quality of aggregator than agencies. But if the differentiation is low, then maybe it's not profitable for aggregator to come at all. So, and that's the next trade-off. So firstly, for agency, it will be good or bad if aggregator come depending on these two effects. So if business stealing prevails, readership expansion, then for agency it's a good idea, or for agency it's bad that aggregator enter the market. But in case readership expansion prevails, business stealing, then it's profitable for agency to aggregator enters the market. so that this will affect the agency's behavior. If it's profitable for agency that aggregator enters the market, they will behave to help the aggregator enter the market. If not, then not. Okay, so then we will focus on two types of equilibrium. The equilibrium with minimal differentiation. That's mean that agencies produce the good news on the same topic, and yes, so then that means that one agency almost produced the same topics as another agency, and then something else of good quality maybe as well. So that means if the aggregator enter, the difference is 0 between aggregator and this agency, because you can go to this agency and you will be provided the same quality as aggregator. Well, then we can see that if you have maximal differentiation, then it is profitable to aggregator to enter, because aggregator provides high quality on every topic, which is produced with high quality on the market. And then we have these two effects, business stealing and readership expansion. So business stealing, firstly, is the incentive to make lower differentiation for agencies, right? Because lower differentiations mean that aggregator comes with lower probability. When we can choose our high topics such that we are doing kind of the same, so that agencies not really differ at all from each other. So then with high probability, aggregator will not enter the market. So then if market expansion prevails, which is readership expansion in other words, so then it is profitable for agencies to choose different topics of high quality, so they can kind of focus on their topics. So for example, one newspaper produced topics on the sport, another politics, third whatever culture. So and then they enjoy that aggregator attracts all consumers on the market to read their news. So and yeah, so we can make some conclusions here, so that that if aggregator enters the market, then this will associate it with enough differentiation between agencies, so that they are enough different from each other, so that then they can think that if we have this maximal differentiation on the market, which means that agencies produce different high topics. So then it is better for in between of agencies. So those agents who are in the middle of interval, for them will be better off to join the aggregator. This means that we increase their utility compared to the previous case. So and that can be shown that it's increased the social welfare, and we will discuss this during our exercise session. So that's intuitive, so that we can secondly, we can avoid the duplication of effort. That's because if you don't want to have the aggregator on the market, then you provide news for the same topics with high quality, which is double costs. Yes. So and then one of the last conclusions here is that the news aggregator affects agency's choice about the quality of the content, so how they pick the quality topics. Questions here about the news aggregator model?
Could you please return one slide back? So if the agency, well, um, figures out that business still in effect will prevail, it will try to fight the aggregator by doing what? By
By choosing the same topics for high quality as another agency.
Mhm. Okay, and if it would like to take market expansion effect, it will like differentiate from another agency, right?
Yes.
And on the next slide, uh,
So just conclusion for that.
yes, so
But
it's obvious about well, if agencies like highly differentiated, they don't have, for example, common topics, so they don't actually have to worry um, about business stealing, right?
yeah, so it's kind of made decision. So do you asking about duplication of effort?
Yes.
So that so if you have aggregator, this means that you have kind of maximum differentiation. That means that you produce high quality on different topic. But now assume that you don't want to aggregator to enter the market. So then you will produce the high quality topics. So the same high quality topics for both agencies. And this is duplication of cost because both agencies spend cost to produce the high quality topics on the same topic. Yeah, high quality on the same topic.
But it's the way to fight an aggregate, right?
Right. But in total, you produce kind of. So for social welfare, it will be not so useful because you have a lower number of lower measure of high quality topics because you can. So if you assume that you spend the same cost or kind of the same, yeah, for social welfare it will be better if the cost will be spent on different topics, not the same. Okay.
Yes, but in this case, just the second bullet point. Mm, Just don't really understand it fully. So why could the aggregator improve welfare?
So the aggregator improve the welfare for those who are in between because they get access to higher quality, right? Because so those who are close to the agency, so they will still pick the agency. So if aggregator enter or not, they don't really enjoy that. But those who are in between, so they will pick aggregator instead of agency, and they will enjoy the quality of both agencies in total because they have access to both agencies right now. You
Um,
see?
yeah, okay. And duplication of effort is connected to this, the way. Which way?
But duplication of effort connected is that if aggregator enters the market, that means that you have differentiation of agencies, so that they produce high quality news on different topics. So which is not the case, then they fight against aggregator, because then they fight against aggregator, they produce the high quality news on the same topics.
So
And this will be duplication of effort. Yeah.
it's not like the result of aggregate activity. It's more like the condition in which the aggregate appears. It's like an indicator.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So, and in total, it's increasable for, but I guess we will discuss it on our last exercise. Okay, some other questions? When I will ask you to, so we have 9 minutes. So, and I will ask you to fill the evaluation since it's our last lecture. So please, it's just take several minutes, I think 2 or 3. So you can scan QR code or go to this website and put this code. So to put the evaluation. Yeah, so you can do it right now. We have several minutes. And yeah, I will send it to the rest of the class by email, and we'll ask you to ask them to fill it as well. So that's, I need this for my here for my evaluation, and so that I can be checked that I indeed did some course, and you got something from my course, probably, hopefully. Okay, one more point about the checking the midterm solutions. So I did kind of the half of them. So I will provide you the link, and you will receive the table with your results in our Google folder. Okay. So I guess today or tomorrow you will get access to it, so you can check how fast I'm in in checking your solution.
Okay, thank you. If I've completed this, I don't know, feedback.
Evaluation.
Yes.
So then see you on Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, you're welcome to ask any questions about Sergei uh, on Thursday presentation. I will send you the link to your group emails as well. So then, but I guess you will receive the invitation for your personal email. I don't know that will be sent by department, probably to personal. But I will duplicate it for your group emails as well.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
then, yeah, if you fill in the form, so you are free to just join or ask any questions.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.